Oh, hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we have had a ton of UFC news, a metric fudge ton of UFC news that I thought I would just round all up and talk about one big ol' video. First and foremost, UFC 288 had lost its co-main event, which was going to be Dariush versus Charles Oliveria. It just got bumped back a month, and now they're going to fight at 289 in Vancouver, Canada. That was a pretty big blow to the card, to be honest with you, because I really love the main event of Henry Cejudo versus Aljamain Sterling. I do think that's a really good main event. I don't think it's enough to carry the card by itself, along with everything else in the card. So that co-main event really helped it. They lost it. It sucks, but we have moved them to 289, which helps out that card, which also needed a lot of help. Honestly, needed way more help because that's a pretty poor main event. But instead, in its place, we have a new co-main event for 288. Gilbert the BMF Burns will defend his BMF title against Belal Muhammad. This is just amazing. Oh my god. Both these guys are absolute savages, studs, men amongst men. Gilbert Burns, I just watched him fight live at 287. I just watched him fight. And now he's fighting not even a month later. What are you made of, you BMF? This is his third time fighting, all against ranked opponents, by the way. Shout out as well to Belal Muhammad for taking this fight after fasting during Ramadan, because that's the whole reason why I believe Islam and Hamza are out. But lo and behold, look at Belal Muhammad still fighting, taking on another named guy, and solidifying my point that Colby Covington getting a title shot is the stupidest thing of all time. Honestly, winner of this fight gets a title shot. If anything else, if you give Colby a title shot after that, get out of my face. Just if you're gonna give Colby a title shot, you know what you do? You bench him until Leon Edwards fights the winner of whoever wins this, Burns versus Belal Muhammad. Then you can give Colby his undeserved title shot. But otherwise, you're doing such a disservice to Belal and even more disservice to Burns, being such a BMF. They really should have made that fight at 287. That should have been for the BMF title, because man, Belal Muhammad and Burns, just absolute animals. That should be a pretty good fight. I'll do a breakdown video on that once we get closer to 288. Next, we have a bunch of other random fights that were announced as well too. We have a main event in Hermanson versus Brendan Allen. I don't like that at all. Vettori versus Cannonier should be a good fight, but honestly kind of pointless, to be 100% honest with you. I'm not gonna lie, just because both guys, Izzy's beaten. Nobody wants to see Vettori get a third shot. And Cannonier, honestly, people probably don't want to see him get a second shot, to be honest with you. He was way too gun shy in his first fight against Izzy. And Strickland versus Magomedov. Why that's the main event? Because Strickland, he's still ranked like 7 or 8, and he's fighting an unranked opponent who has one win in the UFC. What is this? What are we doing? Why is this fight even happening? And why is it happening as a main event? To be perfectly honest with you, Strickland should be fighting someone upper, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm going to tell you straight up who I think he should be fighting. I think he should be fighting Robert Whittaker, to be perfectly honest with you. Because that's one of the other fights that was announced. Robert Whittaker versus Dricus du Plessis. Now, let me get into this fight and why I hate this fight. I hate it so much. Why didn't we just give Dricus the title shot? Because I'm sorry, I like Dricus. He's not getting past Rob. He's not getting past Robert Whittaker. But that's the thing. You're losing more fresh blood for Izzy to fight. Dricus was on a pretty good win streak, having wins over Brunson, Brad Tavares, and also Darren Till. Not the greatest of names, but good enough win streak against ranked opponents. I don't think Tavares is ranked. And he has the whole beef going with Izzy with I'm the true African, whatever. So boom, make that the fight. Make that the fight. Is a little bit of a layup fight? Yeah, but we give layup fights in the past. Do you know how many layup fights we gave to Demetrius Johnson? How many layup fights we gave to Jones? Layup fights we gave to GSP? How many layup fights we gave to Silva? Give one to Izzy. Why are we doing this? Because here's the thing. Whittaker's going to beat him, and we're going to make a third fight between Izzy and Rob. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to see that, except the only people who want to see that are diehard Robert Whittaker fans. I wanted to see a second fight. I saw it. I was very disappointed. Whittaker barely threw anything. He thought by mixing in a few takedowns that Izzy just got right back up from, he'd get a W, and fighting super cautiously. Horrible game plan. Poor fight. Don't want to see it. but we're probably going to see a third fight, which is honestly, Sean Strickland should have fought Whittaker, and they should just gave Dricus his title shot opportunity. Whittaker could have went through Strickland, and then boom, then you could give Whittaker his next title shot, to be honest with you. Or honestly, we should have gave it to, if Hamza Chimaev fights Paulo Costa, then the winner of that. But and also that's me really hoping Hamza wins, so we see Hamza versus Izzy instead. But oh well. Another banger of a fight is Ilia Topuria is going to be taking on Josh Emmett. That's going to be a good fight. I'm really high on Ilia Topuria. Josh Emmett, he's really good. He's a good power puncher, yeah. But I think Ilia Topuria is going to put on a masterclass on him, and he's going to take him out. He's going to get that title shot. I want to see Ilia Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski so bad, because I feel he's really the only person who could be able to take him, to be perfectly honest with you. I really like Ilia Topuria. I know he's a huge douchebag. I don't like his personality, but man. But Emmett's tough. He's a tough customer. He's probably one of the hardest hitters at featherweight, so who knows? But we've seen Ilia has one-punch knockout power at lightweight, so that should be a good one, to be honest with you. Then there were a few more other random fights that got announced along with the Whittaker fight for 290. Also, by the way, Dricus versus Whittaker is going to be in UFC 290. We also have Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker fighting at 290. That fight was initially supposed to happen actually at 285, but instead Hooker pulled out and Gamrot took over, Matus Gamrot. So now they're just rebooking the fight. That should be a fun fight. I like that fight was first announced. I still like it. Then we also have Robbie Lawler versus Nico Price. I'm not going to go super into detail that. That should just be a fun fight. Simple as that. Lawler, he's not ever going to get a title shot, but he puts on fun fights. Nico Price, never going to get a title shot, puts on fun fights. You like to see it. You like to see it. Overall, a lot of big news in the UFC realm. A lot of big news. And I'm very excited for the fights coming up. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comment section below about these upcoming fight announcements. And this has been your boy Gomi. Bye-bye.